So to keep everything interesting, I now installed on my Nintendo Switch an ISO launcher. And yes, it's everything you can think of and some. As you can see right here, it has the assistive touch, which has your favorites, your recents, your device, your control panel, and your notification bar. And yes, it has the notification bar perfectly fine. Let me actually agree to permissions. I did not agree to that. So now I can actually go ahead and, let me see, I can swipe down just like that. Just like a regular iPhone. Okay, disable. Go to my notification bar again. Actually, and it does give me an option, by the way, to actually use the flashlight. There's no flashlight on here. There's no camera on here. But I have all my typical stuff. I have my brightness. I have my volume. I also have my flashlight, my screen recording. Let me actually, there we go. Screen recording, calculator, everything set up just like a typical iPhone. I have my widgets, my applications down here, which this right here is the Play Store, but it's supposed to look like the Apple Store, of course, which, why did I put iOS Launcher on a Switch? Because it's things you don't expect to ever see, right? Is a Nintendo Switch with this one. I did Launcher 10 on this, and I also now did this just like that. If we go ahead and click on the calculator app, it is a typical Android 11 calculator app, so it's nothing too crazy once you actually click on the applications. You go to contacts, same concept. It's just the typical contacts you would get on a regular Android. Every app is just an Android app. It's just a typical Android app, except it has this like cool launcher like this. Now, the cool thing is, right, is you can do what you can do on an iPhone. You can go ahead and edit screen, and all your apps start to wiggle because obviously, you know, you can move them around anywhere you want. So if I want to move gallery, for example, over to here, I can move any applications I want to. I can also do, as you guys can see on the screen right now, I can actually also add widgets, which of course, this is technically running iOS 16, the actual, you know, software for this. And I can actually add any widget I want, health, photos, weather. So I want to do weather, I can do weather. Create widget, create, and bam, my weather is just like that set up. This is so freaking dope / cool. It's I can't even express it enough. Here's another thing. You guys see the mouse on the screen? I can actually use the Switch's controllers with this mouse. I know it's kind of buggy right now because, there we go. It's because I'm using it in a weird orientation. But you can actually use the Switch controllers like an actual mouse and keyboard. That is so freaking dope for no freaking reason. Where you actually now have a little controller pad at the bottom here that you can actually use to, you know, move around your mouse. So let's say if I want to click on something. Let me go, hang on. Whoop. There we go. To the right. Down a little bit. Let me see if A works. Okay, it doesn't let me actually click on it. It just lets me use the mouse. That's kind of disappointing. I thought it would actually let me click on it, which would have been absolutely freaking dope if I could have clicked on it. But again, like I said, still a really cool feature. Let me see. Does it have 3D touch? It doesn't have 3D touch. Okay, so that's a downside, man. Can you imagine a Nintendo Switch in 2023 that does not have freaking 3D touch? Like, that's the most basic feature you could ask for a Nintendo Switch to have, right? You know, you wish all Nintendo Switches had a 3D touch option. I can start a song, and I think if I had music on my SD card, I could actually play it, like, off Apple Music, pretty much. Which is really kind of dope. I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like you just don't expect this to be a thing. So the fact it is a thing makes everything so much cooler. Weather app, like I said before, I don't think there's anything else that's too crazy. If you go over to the left-hand side, you can edit that. You can add widgets over here if you wanted to. It's the same thing, I think, with the Wear OS, like where iPhones is. You can actually have a widget over here and have all like your batteries set up. I don't want to do it a million times. But then you can do all your weather. So if you want to have your weather set up here, your photos set up here, just like that. So you can have your photos all good. and then so on and so on. I think the real iOS, I want to say, has everything set up over here with like your what's called news stories and stuff like that. And this is also your Google search, which you can search on here. You can just search up like, I don't know, iPhone. And actually, okay, so it does work. This is actually kind of cool. It does kind of work exactly like it would on an iPhone, where it has you can search the web, you can search Play Store, or you can search Maps. So again, a little bit very much like an iPhone. I definitely like this. This is definitely something I did not expect to, actually go see or actually go after. But it is kind of cool that it does give you all those options. It gives you all those options here. And just like it would normally, as you guys can see, if I use these options, they work with the device perfectly fine, because obviously this is the assistive touch. That is so freaking dope, man. I'm telling you right now, definitely a W. Now, settings is just the typical settings of, nothing special there settings-wise. This is typical Android settings. Again, like I said, once you click on apps, you start realizing this is not actually an iPhone, and this is actually, in fact, that. But if you take off the Switch, controllers, right? This is like the most knocked off iPhone you will ever see in your life. The beautiful, brand new, this is a brand new iPhone. Let's move the Switch controllers out of the way so people can't see. This is the brand new iPhone 15, guys. We have early access to the iPhone 15. It is so beautiful, so sleek, and nobody knows about this phone yet. This is very under the radar type of cell phone. Imagine. Now, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. If you have any launcher you want me to try on this, definitely comment down below and I'll try it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.